You can't redeem yourself.
You can't, man. You can't. Once it's out there, it's out there.
If you're involved in any type of sex work, whether it's, doing something like softcore porn all the way up to being a playmate or whatever, that is always going to follow you. You're always going to be labeled a sex worker to some degree.
Facts.
You're always going to be sexualized, and your future husband is probably going to have a
and your future kids are going to see it, and your future grandchildren are going to see it.
It's always going to follow you. It is always going to impact your ability to find a man to take you seriously. And I tell girls all the time, if you're going to get into anything where you're monetizing off your body, be prepared to potentially stay single for a long period of time, because men value these things and they look at it. No one wants to walk into a room and have every guy there know who his girl is and seen her naked.
Do you want, would a high value guy, would he be the kind of guy who would be okay with that? Fuck no.
Unless
Do you
you're
want to
John
get with a
F.
guy?
Kennedy
Do
and you're
you want to get
talking
with a guy that's that's okay? I don't care that you did like 3 ways and you did monkey backflips on OnlyFans. Are you going to would that guy meet the definition of the high value guy that you would want to marry and have babies with and go into
it's
the
just a
with?
simple economical thing, okay? Something that is valuable is scarce, okay? And so if your naked photos are all over the internet for the whole world to see,
well, some guys do care.
No, the majority
of guys that we, a lot of guys don't care anyway.
The guys who do care
really
aren't
don't
high
give a
value.
fuck.
You're both single.
Huh?
If you're like you have
got
not
a
found.
relationship.
I'm sorry to hear that. But
So
the
are
bottom
you
line
going
is
to be
this:
single?
guys are gonna 1,000% disqualify you 9 times out of 10.
Not every single guy.
No, that's why I said 9 times out of 10.
Okay.
So you said there's no redemption. What if she were to go on and transcend into some other domain of public
version
of like public service or whatever? Because I have like attorneys generals of states that follow me. I talk about current events. I go and talk about on podcasts.
Are
talk
any of those
about
attorney
like
generals
Bitcoin.
naked on the internet at any point?
Well, no, but they do care what I say. So like I'm involved in these conversations. So maybe they're not going to marry me, but what if I totally transcend what I've done like that?
It's always going to be a
still
dark
gonna be
cloud
there.
over your head, and it's always going to be, oh, you got this opportunity because you were involved in certain types of, like, you're never going to get the full respect. And this is the thing I talked about on the podcast before. One thing about being a pretty girl that sucks is that you're never going to be valued on your actual meritocracy of your skill set or your brain. You're always going to be valued on the way that you look, which sucks for smart girls that are hot.
So would you advise me to be anonymous on the internet and go have serious conversations if I want to engage in serious conversations?
We're past that point.
Do you think
No,
I got an experiment for you. If you
Well, but
impersonated,
if I don't use my name, why would they be able to do that?
if you impersonated yourself, if you went and made a new
If I used an
account,
anonymous name.
if you made a social media account where you pretended to be male, do you think you would have the same effect on the leaders of state and everybody? You just
It would be fascinating. It would be for one thing, I think that we're not going to have that into the future. I think that within the next 2, maybe 3 years, you'll have identification to opt into the internet. You have to be identified. So I think that that's already
Everybody's a blue
thing in
check.
the rearview mirror. Yeah, I already think
Hope
that's in the rearview mirror. But I've thought about how fascinating that would be. But like, because I am branded, it's been fun to see what I can do as myself. And people are really forgiving. Like, people will entertain what I have to say as long as it's like interesting. I mean, I don't talk to Ben Shapiro on Twitter. Ben Shapiro won't talk to me.
But you got to remember, it's not about people taking you seriously in a work world. I'm talking about a man taking you seriously in a relationship.
Yeah, but
That's what I'm talking about
so you
specifically.
think all the men that watch me talk to Ben Shapiro don't think that has value?
No.
Well, I mean, you're
Because,
listen,
look,
not in the sexual
So why do the
marketplace.
good girls still get cheated on?
So wait,
The high value women with the career not showing nothing. Why does it matter?
First, because she's
Go ahead.
talking.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So you were saying, does it matter that I'm talking with certain individuals? Is that what the question was? Just so I make sure I have this correctly.
Well, you think that there's absolutely nothing. There's nothing in this world I could do or achieve to be for people to forget conservative-minded, high-value men to put it in the rearview mirror that I post for Playboy.
Okay, so you're what, 35, right?
Yes.
36.
Okay, you do realize that there's probably another girl that looks just like you, doesn't have a Playboy background, younger, conservative as well. Why is he going to pick you over her?
Well, because how many billions of people are there on the planet? Do I have to compete for the same people that?
Yes, because as a higher status guy, you are a fraction of the population, but there's hot girls everywhere. And I don't think women understand. I don't think women understand that the math doesn't math for you guys a lot of the times when it comes to getting a higher status guy.
Well, you're stripping out all the personal chemistry that happens and things where the unique experiences you bond together over dates, all these things. You're stripping the humanity out of dating at all.
Why is it that women want to use humanity and my personality and all this other stuff, but if a guy was ugly, you would never give him a chance?
I would happily be with somebody that was unattractive to the mainstream society. I do not care at all what you look like.
Women reject men overtly, men reject women covertly, and you might not even get a chance with this guy just because of your background. He might not even approach you. See,
well, but
with
then
women,
I'm not
you guys,
even scanning for. Yes.
Women get the privilege of a man coming up to them and they're able to openly reject them right there, and you see your suitors come to you. On the other hand, though, women don't see all the times that they get rejected. You might get rejected because you're being too loud at a club. You might get rejected because your internet profile sucks, but you guys don't see the hundreds, if not thousands of men that disqualified you immediately. So women don't understand a lot of the times that they're getting rejected covertly.
They're not even significant data to me because they're not a match. So I'm talking about people that are a match to me, that do approach me, that are fine with my digital footprint.
And I'm telling you, most higher status. I'm telling you, most higher status guy are always going to have a point of contention with that digital footprint.
I think the way to meet it in the middle, like when we had the Destiny debate before, it's a percentage. Would you at least admit that it does push the percentage out towards the fat tail? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it makes it a little harder. By the way, there are some dudes who think it's a flex. They're like, hey, I dated a centerfold. And by the way, you weren't the cyber girl leader. You were a playmate, which is pretty rare. There weren't very many of those, like 12 a year, right? So I think that's a little different. But the thing is, you at least admit it makes it harder.
Absolutely.
So what he's saying is like it's going to be less. I'm sure there probably is, and you've met them before. His other question is going to be, you're 35 and single. Why is that? You see what I'm saying?
36. Yeah. So that's just the reality for women is like, you guys do have a finite amount of time to find your guy, and then things that you do will come back to haunt you. Women care about a man's future. Men care about a woman's past. That's just how it goes. So why would a guy take you seriously when he has another girl that's 10 years younger that doesn't have that background? He's going to go with the younger girl.
I guess it matters what you've done with that 10 years as far as your personal development and your personal conduct with them and the maturity that you bring.
Okay, so Jess, so here's the thing, right? So my girlfriend graduated from high school early because she's really smart. She wants to go to law school.
Yeah.
And all these things are very impressive to me, but that's not why I'm with her. I'm with her because of the femininity she brings. She's the most loyal woman I've ever been with in my life. She would stab any one of you. Like I'm not trying to be funny. She would kill somebody.
Well, and how many thousands of women have, like, just like everybody at this table, how many thousands of women did you have to meet and go through to find somebody like her? I agree. She's an anomaly, and you did amazing.
Michael, how old are you?
I'm 45.
How old is she?
21.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So
I need to know.
That proves our point, though.
Yeah.
That men overwhelmingly prefer younger women.
Yeah, nigga, you're old.
Of course.
I am. I do appreciate that. I am old. I am pretty old.
Makes sense.
But the thing is, my point is,
you look amazing.
my point is just, I'm not trying to degrade you. Obviously, you and I are friends, and I see a lot of great qualities about you, but they don't make me want to date you. Does that make sense? Like, CJ Sparks, one of my best friends. I don't want to date CJ, even though I love she makes me laugh. She's fucking awesome. I love partying with her. She's one of my closest friends. She's like my sister.
But would you marry her?
No, I wouldn't, and that's the thing. And CJ knows that. And we've had these discussions before.
Why not?
Huh?
What makes her unfit to be married?
Because of the things that I love about her, that are, she's funny, she makes a lot of money, all this thing, and she's a great person to have a conversation with. Those things don't necessarily equate to the let's just say it, the femininity, the loyalty, and the fact that she brings me peace. Those things would be different because
so what are you missing in the girl that's sitting next to you with the huge tits?
She brings me peace. She's loyal and she's feminine. And here's the other thing.
That means CJ Sparks needs $5 million.
Ladies, let me make this extremely clear because I don't think women understand this. So I'm going to just go ahead and say it. Men don't give a fuck about how much money you make, your status, your title, what you do for a living, what you've done. Like, guys don't care about that shit. They care about a girl that's going to be submissive, attractive, fit, not embarrass them in public, hot, not a hoe. That's what men look for.
You just described the list of redemption I was asking for. I don't know why you couldn't list those things.
Well, no, I'm just putting it bluntly for you. That's what it is. I mean, if you wanted me to list it out for you, but this is what men typically look for. And younger women are able to offer that in a higher abundance than older women, unfortunately.
Of course.
So that's just what it is. So, like, a lot of you guys mentioned, can you please stop interrupting? A lot of you guys mentioned making money, being successful, being independent, whatever. Ask yourself when a woman is independent. Independent of who exactly? Of men. So why is a man going to come in and deal with an independent woman that doesn't need him when you can go and get a girl that's younger, hotter, that is going to be dependent on him? Because at the end of the day, men do want to provide for a woman.
Because y'all niggas ain't providing shit.
If you who said niggas?
See, that's your question. That's
if they don't look at you as a king, then you don't want them.
Like, don't you want a girl that has her own thing that can also like grow with you?
It's not about that. It's about, you've ever heard the phrase, right? The squeaky